Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Well, here we are. We've had a great show so far this morning, but it's going to be better, greater, and a lot more fun. So I'm sitting here with two beautiful women who are very talented and very charismatic. And for those of you sitting at home, I know you've probably heard of the ZIEGFELD Follies. Years ago, they were famous on Broadway and all, but now we have a rendition of it. And it's really called the Broadway ZIEGFELD Entertainers. And if you come to the BOOMER Expo on January the 22nd, we are going to be able to have the wonderful, I guess 6 of them here performing. Is it 6?
10.
10. Oh, I'm so excited.
10. And we'll even have one ZIEGFELD guy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is very exciting. So let me tell you who's in the studio. LILLIAN FLOYD, who is the, treasure and showgirl of the Broadway ZIEGFELD Entertainers. And then ROSELLEN KLOPFER, who is a choreographer and dancer. So we welcome you to come so early in the morning and be here with us.
It's our pleasure.
Well, you're on Facebook Live, but we're also, of course, being heard all over South Florida on our radio show. So you have something that so many women would kill for. To be beautiful, to be talented, and even as you age and after you're 50, you have something that you feel probably like you're in your 20s. You never feel older, do you?
It's like when you were little and you played dress up. You know, we put on the feathers and the gowns and the jewelry and the false eyelashes and the hair pieces, and whoa, we're ready to go.
Oh, isn't that great?
Absolutely.
And how did you become, how did you become a choreographer, Rosellen? Is that something that you did before?
No, actually, I was pushed into that one. We didn't have a choreographer, and everybody said, you've been in the business for so many years, you could put something together. And so I said, well, maybe I'll try. And by golly, it did work out. The old dance routines that I did with Burl and Milton Berle and Jackie Gleason and Bob Fosse, all these came together. And then I started to remember all these little dance numbers and things we did and kind of put it together. And it worked for us.
And now we're working on a Bob Fosse routine, so this is right up her alley.
Yeah,
I remember Bob Fosse went to a lot of those shows when he did a lot of things.
He was some guy.
He was
fabulous.
So tell me how your life is, though, when you're not dancing. Are you just... Do you go to the grocery store? Are you just plain?
We wear our feathers to pose.
And even the eyelashes go on.
Oh, sure.
But you think about that. You are doing this now to entertain all over South Florida. So I want to also get you a little bit of a promotion doing this. So if people are listening, and let's get them to your website first so they'll see what you really do. Why don't you tell us what it is?
You can find us either on Google or YouTube. You just put in Broadway ZIEGFELD Entertainers, and then you click on promo, and you'll see me talking, and then you'll see about 4 numbers that we do. And if you want to find us, our number is 561-866-2072.
And they can call you, and you will perform at their clubhouse or wherever they are, right? I mean, you have to charge a fee, but it's not real expensive, but it will be great. And I think people of your age who live in these communities will just love this.
The seniors love us, because we're doing something that they remember, and they understand ZIEGFELD. So you have to be over 55 or 60 to really understand who Florenz ZIEGFELD was, who was a great impresario.
Let's talk about him a little bit.
I think he must have been quite a character. He was born in 1867, a German immigrant family, and he was involved with vaudeville, and then he went to Paris and he saw the Folies Bergère, and that's what gave him the idea of bringing the most beautiful woman in the world to the Broadway stage. And that's how the ZIEGFELD Follies started, and they continued for quite a few years. And then he also brought great performers like Fanny Brice, Bob Hope,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I mean, great
Eddie
performance.
Cantor,
yeah.
Al Jolson.
I mean, just great
Oh,
performance.
so he
Yes.
was a real promoter also.
He
So
was.
that was great.
Exactly.
But he had good taste, so he
And
could.
The funny thing was he had a business card and it said impresario extraordinaire. So that was him.
That's great.
Yeah.
I
He
love
was a
that.
showman, yes.
And
yeah.
we are a non-profit organization.
Yeah.
So whatever we do make, we donate to charity.
Yeah, and I might add that our core group, we do not get paid a dime.
No.
We don't, everything we, that comes in, well, we have to pay our outside people, like we bring in a singer, a comedian, an impersonator, and so we do pay outside people, but our core group does not get paid.
The core group meaning the dancers.
The dancers,
Dancers
yes.
and showgirls,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we do this for charity.
Right. Well, that's just really wonderful, and I know that you're so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say. I mean, you're doing something you love. It's a great passion. Just before you, we had the impersonator for Elvis Presley, and he's all over. He does everything,
Yeah.
and it's a passion that you see in people because you can never get paid enough, and it's a tireless thing. I mean, you're so. I mean, here you are early in the morning at our studio because you love what you do. Well, let me tell everybody again. Please be sure to come to the Boomer Expo on January the 22nd over there at the Seminole Casino. And sometime in the afternoon, we're going to start. We usually don't do entertainment, but we're having a little bit of it. And this is the first time we're going to be bringing on, the Broadway ZIEGFELD entertainers. And we'll do them in little spurts, and I'll tease people. And hopefully everybody will now start to hire you. Because that's really what it would be. About how many times a year how many shows do you usually put on, do you think?
Well, we usually do from 3 to 4 shows.
And also, we do a luncheon
Yes.
every other month at the Lighthouse Point Yacht Club. We do a fabulous luncheon with entertainment, and it's really lovely.
Yes, it's beautiful.
And everybody's invited. So.
Oh, that's very nice. So they have lunch, and then you do
And
a
And
little.
we do a production
show,
number,
yeah.
and we do a mini show.
Yeah.
So we always have either a comedian or we have a singer, and then we do a production number.
Oh, but you all are so great. Do you really need the singer and the comedian? I
Well,
think
we
just
do.
looking
We
at
like
you
to
is
Actually,
great.
we do it so we can change into a costume.
Yes.
Oh, I
So we
see.
have to
Okay.
have
Each number we do is a complete costume
Different.
change. So
Exactly.
we have to, if we're doing a show, we have to have a singer come in and fill in between each.
So we can get dressed and get
number.
out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk about something with it, the feathers. I mean, if everyone goes to their copy of the December issue of Boomer Times, you will see these beautiful women.
Oh,
but the
yes.
first thing you see are those feathers.
Absolutely.
So how do you get them made, and who decides what they should look like? Tell me about your outfits.
Well, the outfits on the cover, everything is ours. We're responsible for having our own gowns and feathers and headdress, and then all the other numbers we do, we have the storage place where we keep all the costumes.
So who makes the headdresses? Is there a company that
Yes,
actually
there
does
is
this?
a particular
Yeah,
person.
like I got mine in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
There are people who make
Right.
these things.
Now, of course, the dancers are very jealous of this because the dancers do not wear these gorgeous headpieces because we're dancers and we're all around the floor and we can't just walk around looking as lovely as they do. So we're a little on the jealous side. We do all the heavy
your heart.
dancing. Yeah. We do all the heavy dancing and the choreography, and we're all over the place. And the showgirls come out, and they all go crazy
We
over
just
the
come
showgirl.
sailing out.
Sailing out and looking just gorgeous.
We have people watching you now on Facebook. One says, "Do you want to see?" Linda Saget is watching you, and Elaine Koblenz is watching you. Yeah, this is interesting. But when you were saying that, so you literally you've separated out where some of the women just walk out and look beautiful, and then others actually can dance.
Not
Well,
totally,
we know-
no. Not totally.
Okay, tell us how that goes.
Showgirls usually just walk across the floor and look absolutely gorgeous.
Right.
But I decided that they have to dance.
Good.
So I kind of work with them and I give them little things to do, nothing too difficult, but still they are dancing, and that makes me happy.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, no, that's true. So We all remember that where a pretty girl's like a male.
Exactly.
Is that the way they walk
She
out?
walks across the floor and looks absolutely dynamic.
Right. For those of you who grew up in Miami Beach, as I did, the Fontainebleau used to go there, and they would have the showgirls that would be part of something, because everybody wants to see that. Even though, and you were dressed beautifully, you weren't seductive as they are today. It was just elegant. That's how I would say.
Well, we keep the elegance into it.
Right. And so, did people have to be a certain height? Because I remember the showgirls always were tall.
Years ago, they had to be tall and statuesque.
Exactly.
Because I had worked for Billy Rose and his showgirls, and they were all 6 feet tall.
I was just going to say that in my mind, you had to be very tall. And Billy Rose, I hadn't heard that name for a long time. But so then...
Billy and the Diamond Horseshoe, right?
And the Diamond Horseshoe.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That was
so,
his.
Now, since it's so many years ago, I wonder if there are women out there in their 90s. Now, I don't think you have them in the 90s yet, but you have some in the 80s, don't you?
We have 60, 70, 80, and 190.
Do you really? And I'll bet she's fabulous.
She is magnificent. She is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And the nice thing about this is women then have to keep themselves up. If they're going to be in your show, or actually anywhere, it forces them to exercise, to eat properly, to take care of themselves, doesn't it?
It definitely does.
Just to fit into some of those costumes.
That's the problem. If you gain a couple of pounds, you have a little problem.
Now, who decides on the costumes? Is that you,
Roselle? It's usually myself and Lillian. Yes,
and
we
decide what you want.
What costumes would be
if we're doing
appropriate.
a Latin number, we're going to have a Latin type costume on.
And who and they're responsible for making those costumes?
No,
done?
We have the costumes.
We have a bin full of costumes. So we're able to change into a lot of different
That's
costumes.
Important,
Oh, yes.
Because I was going to suggest something to you, because I'm very good friends with Marilyn Wick over at the Wick Theater.
Oh, the Wick Theater.
And she has, of course, the largest costume shop in the world.
Right.
And so if you ever need something,
that's
we
a
can
very
talk
good
about
idea.
that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's an idea.
She's special, and who knows? And I'm just doing this a little bit. I'd have to talk to her, but maybe sometime you could, after the show, you could be there, because they always have like little cabaret after the show. If you've been there, maybe you could, perform a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to talk about this. See, ideas just keep flowing when you're passionate and you have things to say. Well, let's get back to the music. So, how do you choose the music?
Well, we decide, or I decide, what type of music we're going to do. We do discuss, all of us, what type of number they want to do. Now, this last number, we decided to go with Chicago, since it was a Bob Fosse number, and it was something I could really put my teeth into, and that's what we're working on now. And so that's what we do. We kind of pick out the best kind of musical numbers that dancers and showgirls could be incorporated into.
And then if we
do a jazz number.
That's right.
And so it's kind of mixed. It isn't something that just, everything is different. Every type of music comes on with such a tremendous volume that we wake you up. Let's put it that way.
Dancing in the Dark, which is almost like a dream, sequence.
Yes.
We just float around with the feathers.
This
have
is
a little
going to be
bit of everything.
Oh, this is going to be absolutely wonderful. So, do you have grandchildren? I mean, I was thinking about what they must think of their grandmothers. You're probably, some people could even be, there's my grandmother up there, right?
Well, I have grand horses, grand dogs, grand cats.
But I'm sure plenty of people have their grandchildren, who are wives.
I have grandchildren, yes.
Yeah.
And they look at pictures of me from years and years and years ago, and they go, "Is that you, Grandma?"
Yeah, that's true. But
I mean, we were young once,
No, but you're still there. You're still performing, so they can see. Most of other grandmothers would not be doing what you're doing. So I admire you so much. I mean, this is really
we love what we do, and I think in our work and as a family, because we're not really a group, we're a family. So we're there for one another, God forbid anything happens. And it has happened, and everybody has rallied together.
Right.
So it has really been a very, very special bunch of women for me to work with.
Plus our handsome Ziegfeld guy.
Oh boy,
he's gorgeous.
Is gorgeous. He is
He comes
gorgeous.
out in white tie and tails.
Tails
Oh,
and
my.
oh my
And
God.
the top hat, and all the women want to know, is he single?
Yes.
Of course. Is he?
He's taken.
By one of the girls?
No, he's outsider. But he is a really nice looking guy, and as nice as he is on the outside, that's how he is on the inside.
And tell me about other groups like this. Is there another group that does what you do here in South Florida or across the country?
Not that I know
Different.
of. It's a different thing. Now, I know there's the Broadway...
No, the Florida Follies.
Florida Follies. And they are a tremendous group. They're like 40 girls. It's huge. And they do more or less tap and
I
precision
saw them. I saw
type.
them, yes.
And they are quite good.
But
Quite
it's not...
good. But it's not
the-
a Las Vegas
No,
review.
okay.
And that's what we do.
But I would think because there were so many women doing this years ago, there must be some across the country. You just don't know.
I'm
of
sure
them,
there
right?
is. There used to be a group called the Diamonds.
Huh.
I remember vaguely the Diamonds. And actually, I don't know of too many.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Well, it takes a lot of coordination, takes a lot of dedication, doesn't it? And
Yes, it
determination to do what you do and to give it the time. And
Right, you have to be committed to going to rehearsals.
Absolutely.
tell me some of the charities that your donations have gone to.
Heavens.
I mean, I'll
Let's
tell
see, we have ALS, we have encephalitis, we have kids with cancer, women in distress.
so you
Wounded
decide.
Warriors.
Oh, wow.
There's a big list of charities, and we do different ones each year.
I just became involved with the PAP Corps.
Oh,
And are you
okay.
familiar with them at all?
I've heard of them.
From the
but
Sylvester University of Miami, the PAP Corps. That's something you probably need to know more about. We'll talk
we'd
about
love
that
to-
another time.
We'd love to
Yeah,
know
they have
about
about 20,000 volunteers here.
Oh, wow.
And the reason
Wow.
is they have 28 chapters, and they have it's an amazing organization, and it's for cancer, and it's also very special. But we can I'm going to be talking about this in the future with a lot of other people. I just have the CEO on, but they're really wonderful too.
Yeah, we like to give money to charities that do not have big administrative.
Exactly. No, they don't.
Maybe 5% or no more
Exactly.
than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we
right.
want the money to go directly to the charity.
Yeah,
And I do charity work once a week, and it's
What
called
do you do?
Vita Nova. What they do
spell
is
that. What is it?
Vita.
Oh, V-I-T-A?
V-I-T-A Nova.
Nova,
N-O-V-A.
N-O-V-A.
Yeah.
What they do is they take foster children that have become 18 and over, and they're not with anybody or any place to go anymore.
Yeah.
And we have like a little apartment house with 6 apartments. We clothe them. We get them ready to go out into the business
Like
world.
a transition place.
And it's
for
a
them.
transition
Yeah.
place for them. Yes.
Oh, I'd love to know more about that too. Maybe I can help with that. I just
Oh, we would
oh,
love you
isn't
to.
that special?
Yes, it
and
is.
and who runs that?
These people run it. I just come
You
in
just
on a
got in and
Thursday
you-
and I work 4 or 5 hours for them, and it's a thrift shop, and we sell
Oh,
everything.
I see,
And
I
the
see.
money we make from that, we support the children.
Well, they're young adults now, aren't they?
They are young adults.
Good for you. Well, that's why. You see, once you have the spirit as you do to do what you're dancing and you just have to take that other places. It is such a wonderful thing to have both of you. And what I want to do is tell everybody again. So the lady in the green, people who are listening on YouTube, who will be listening, won't see this, but the people on Facebook, the lady in green is LILLIAN FLOYD, who's the treasurer and the showgirl, and the lady in blue, I'm glad you wore different colors so I can do this, is ROSELLEN Klopfer, and she's a choreographer and dancer. And we are really so happy that you made the time to come here. Where do both of you live? In the area?
I live in Wellington.
And I'm in West Palm.
Oh, so you came from up there down here.
Okay. The boondocks with the
Right.
horses.
No, that's why you said that. Well, now, do the ladies come from all over South Florida?
Oh, do they ever?
Up as far as Singer Island,
Singer Island?
to Sunny Isles down by Miami.
Miami.
No
Yes.
kidding.
Yeah.
And where do you, so let's say someone's listening now who was a showgirl. Can they get in touch with you? Would
They
you love that?
certainly
Absolutely.
can.
You want to give a phone number out that would make sense?
561-866-2072.
Okay, yeah, 866-2072.
Right.
So if anyone's out there listening and you were a showgirl
Or a dancer.
or a
Or even
dancer,
as someone who'd like to sing, you know.
Yes.
sing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Who wants to have a little glamour in their life.
Right, and you'll fix them up and you'll teach them how to make themselves up and do everything, won't you?
Absolutely.
We certainly will.
So I was going to ask you that. So do you have a makeup artist that helps you?
No, every
You
girl.
all just know what to
Every
do.
girl is on her own.
Yeah, well,
but
I
you
was
know.
a model for 10 years.
Right, so you...
In New York, and
So you know-
everybody knows
Yeah.
how to put on eyelashes.
No, so that's right. So
We don't
especially
have
nowadays.
them on today, but
No, but nowadays too, I know I was doing that for a while too, and it's a different world. I think the most important thing though is for someone to be able to get back and feel like they felt when they were 20 and 30, and they can.
Right.
I mean, even in the
Yeah.
book "Live to Be 100 Plus" that my husband and I wrote, it's really a matter of attitude. That's what you have.
Absolutely.
You have this
Yes,
gorgeous
that
attitude
is.
now, and besides looking so beautiful, if you've seen beautiful women, but you've also seen they don't have a beautiful heart, and it's not it's not good enough.
Well, that's what comes out in our dancing. Because every girl loves to do what she does. And when she gets out on that stage, she's a different person.
and it makes you smile.
Yeah, it does. It makes everyone smile. And I remember when you were there at our last expo and you walked around, people just loved it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
You
Because
know,
they don't see that
I know that.
anymore.
I know
It's
that.
a lost cause. It's a lost situation. I'm a Sinatra fan.
oh yes, who isn't? Who isn't, honey?
But you ask the young kids today, they don't even know who he is.
I don't know about that because his music. You think that because his music's
No,
still
his-
there,
His music, I think, will be forever.
and you think that they don't even know that?
No,
Really?
No. I've asked several, and they go, "Who?"
Really?
And it really is.
I guess they're not listening to the right
Yeah,
No,
stations.
they're not
Just
listening
to
right.
rap.
to rap.
Right. Or
Exactly.
Lennon, and
The Beatles.
yeah, the Beatles,
and
right,
that's
and all that.
their cup of tea.
Yeah, that's true. But of course, all of us, we're just in the same age group here, and so Frank Sinatra was very special.
Very, very
right?
special.
I was a judge at a. We had a thing for the people trying to find singers, and we had, I guess, about 130 people that came on board, and every man who wanted to be able to, be judged,
Yes.
they usually came on singing a Frank Sinatra song.
Right.
And so, but nobody could ever sing it the way he sang it.
No one. His phrasing was
That's right. That's what
the
did
best.
It was.
I mean, nobody can phrase a song like
Right.
Sinatra could.
No, that's true. It was really.
And our singers, the ones that we do bring in to entertain, usually always have a few Sinatra songs.
Oh yeah, well, one guy
Always.
I have him open the show with "Come Fly with
With
Me."
Me.
Great Sinatra song, and it gets everybody up a little bit right away.
Right,
Oh, that's I
right.
remember
Yeah.
that one.
But a beautiful girl. That's the one that everybody knows as they start coming out, right? I mean,
A
it's-
pretty girl
a
is like a
pretty-
melody.
that's what it was. I'm
That's
sorry.
one.
Pretty girl is like a melody.
Right.
Exactly.
But I try to stay away from that because
Oh.
I try to feature the showgirls as much as possible
Ah.
because I don't want the dancers to take away anything from the beauty of the showgirls.
No, of course. That's the whole
and
point.
they're the whole show as far as I'm
They
concerned.
really are because when you think of it, there are a lot of groups that do singing and dancing all over.
Mhm.
But
They
when you-
don't have
Oh,
the
I
show
know it.
girls.
Now Rose does something that hardly anybody can do anymore: is tap dance.
Yes.
She's fantastic.
You tap
And-
dance.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic what she
And
does.
someone I know was saying to me, he loves tap dance. He said, "Would you like to give me lessons?" I said, "I've never tap danced. Is that hard to learn?
It's
to
a
do?
lost art.
Is it hard
today.
to learn?
They're very hard to learn.
Why?
Very hard.
What is the problem?
Well, it's got a lot of syncopation. You have to know your music, and you have to be able to be flexible as far as your ankles and feet are concerned. So if you are, say, a ballet dancer and you try to go into tap, it's a lost cause.
Huh?
It's a lost cause because the way you place your feet in ballet is one way, but the way you place your feet to tap is a totally different
So are you the
situation.
only tap dancer, or do you
There
teach?
is another girl. There's one other girl, Jenny,
So,
Jenny Freed.
So you will tap dance in the show also?
Probably. Yes, probably.
Don't you have to have a certain kind of floor though?
A
when you
wood
tap
floor.
Dance?
A
Yeah,
wood floor
that's
is
the
the
other
best
thing
floor.
too. We're not tap dancing on
They do a
carpet.
dynamic
No.
in the mood.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Very,
And
very great.
we're on a new one called Sing Sing Sing. That's a
Oh,
dynamite
this is
number.
great.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Well, I guess we're going to be coming to a close. We have our next person coming on, but I have to thank both of you, and I'm just going to say your names again. Lillian Floyd, who is the treasurer and showgirl at the Broadway ZIEGFELD Entertainers, along with Rosellen Klopfer, who's a choreographer and a dancer and a tap dancer. And we have more people watching you, and oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we have some people really enjoying this. So
Good.
I want to thank you both for making the trip, coming here, and everyone come to the Boomer Expo on January the 22nd on Tuesday, and in the afternoon, after all the crowds kind of go through a lot of their booths and see things, we're going to have some entertainment, and we're very excited about your doing this with us, and we thank you so much for coming to our radio show this morning.
Well, we thank you for the pleasure of asking us.
Yeah, it's great. So now we're going to